Good evening. Welcome to another Tuesday Night Watch Talk, a special edition of the Tuesday Night Watch Talk. We've been doing this special edition the last couple years, and yes, we will be going through the GPHG nominees, making our picks who we think are going to win this year's award. I am Bobby Legs, and I am joined by the esteemed, the one and only, the ever popular, the crowd pleasing. Phil Flanders. How are you, Phil? Welcome.
Great. Thought I'd bring out my beret for the episode.
Yeah, yeah, no, you look great.
Keystone. It's one of our keystone episodes.
Yes, yes, it's one of our absolutely. It's one of our keystone, one of our more important episodes of the year. As just almost as up there as the Amin Strap Awards. Very, very exciting time,
Yeah,
and
this is the second most prestigious award show.
it is in all of Watch World. You're right. You're absolutely right. The second most prestigious, of course, following the
But
Amin
you'll have to wait
Straps
till
Awards.
December for the you'll have to wait till
What was
December for
that?
Amin Straps Awards.
Yeah,
You'll have to wait till
yeah.
December for that.
Getting my hot tea in here. Phil, what are you wearing on wrist this evening?
Nothing special. I got the special edition, well, the limited edition Seamaster.
Yeah,
Didn't
that
feel
two
like
tone.
breaking out anything too
You,
fancy, but I
you,
like it.
you're,
It's growing on me.
yeah, yeah. I think I was gonna say I think you're like smitten by that watch a little bit, right? I mean, like I've seen you wear, you post pictures
It's
on your
it's
IG
it's
account.
the bezel. I think it's the
Yeah,
bezel.
yeah,
This is a really well
yeah.
done bezel. Like the sort of
Excellent.
the brushed and then just sort of the polished numerals.
Yeah. Yeah, I got to tell you, and I think I said it to you before, like zero interest in that watch until you got it, and then taking some pictures and then how you reacted to it and what your thoughts were on it. Really, really, I like it. I'm into it now. So,
Yeah, and who knows,
very nice.
the big Pilot 43 might make its way. The exact one. I don't know.
Oh,
The one that I
really?
traded for it. Yeah, it's still
Yeah,
up for sale. If the price comes down
the
enough, I
same
might
one,
be
the same
buying it.
exact one.
My watch. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he
Wow.
parceled it out, right? So he parceled it out. So I think he sold the bracelet. So he
Yeah.
recouped some money there. But
hmm
I liked it on the strap better anyway. So I mean,
I think it looks
not
great
a
on
big deal.
strap. That
It looks
bracelet's
way better on the strap. Yeah.
Yeah, the bracelet's great. Don't get me wrong, but that watch is better on strap, I think, just aesthetically
I
looking.
think I think so too. Like I think for the Mark 20, you need the bracelet. Like so for the
Yeah,
Mark
good
18 and
point.
the Mark 20,
hmm hmm
you need the bracelet. The strap's not as important, but for the bigger dials, I think the the strap is more conducive for that.
Now, question, and you don't have to answer this. Do you think you can get it for like a lower price, like than what he was trying to sell for originally? Like, I mean,
I
do you
think so.
think
Oh,
since
definitely, definitely, because
that's
it's.
great.
I think it's this is one of those pieces that got caught in this with the drop in the market. Like this
Yeah,
is getting it's getting dropped through the cracks. Like people aren't buying. Like people are still buying Rolexes. You can still move Rolexes. You just have to lower your price.
yeah.
Weirdly, in Canada, Grand Seiko as well. You can still sell those pretty quick. But I think this is one of those that's kind of um, drop in between the cracks. It's because it doesn't have it's not as price friendly as the Chronograph 41s
Right, right.
or the Mark like the Marks. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
but I don't want to dwell too much on that.
Okay, yep.
Yeah,
Fair enough. Fair enough. You
better
may
get
have said
going.
you may have said too much, but that's fine. Maybe Sanjay's now circling the waters over there, although that watch is probably a little too big for him.
Yeah.
I got the cosmonaut. Really love this watch. Very very smitten of this watch. Anyway, so let's say hi real quickly, and then we'll
It's a
get
good
right on
idea.
to the list. Um, Hey, Peter C is here. How are you, Peter? What's going on? Hobby Bobby's here. Got to the park early wearing my Marcus jersey. Spartacus Chaz says, love seeing that member icon there. Thank you so much for being a member, Chaz, and as well as you are, Stefan. Appreciate it. Marceau, he is, it's fancy and it's a fancy night, and he's wearing his rose
Jeez,
gold
that's nice.
Carl Bucaro
Wow,
Monero. Very
that
nice.
is nice.
Hey Wilson, what is up? AZ Clayton is here. How are you? Keith is here. What up? Ooh, great reminder, Marcel. Headed to the watch box for something appropriate. Oh, can't wait to see what Hobby Bobby comes up with. Deech is here, another member. Great. Oh man, you guys are awesome. I appreciate it. Um, Batman is tonight's watch. Oh, okay. Speaking of Batman, no Amin.
No
No
Amin,
Amin,
no
no
Cho.
Joe. So far,
Hopefully,
no Colin.
hopefully Colin comes in, like
Hopefully,
makes a
Colin
big
comes
entrance.
in. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, Peter's like, oh no, I'm underdressed. So you go for me, no worries. Everybody's welcome, no matter what. No t-shirts and no shoes are allowed. Justin is strapped in. How are you, Justin? Hey, Bill K is here. How are you? Steve is here. How you doing, Steve? Good to see you. Caliber YQG. Greetings to you. Ken Spear checking in from Pittsburgh. Hey, James, what's up? Hi, everyone. GPHG winning Longines Big Eye on tonight for this episode. Oh, so James is making a claim here. Hey, wait, man, what's up, man? How are you? Good to see you. Jeffrey O'Neill, good morning from Perth, Australia. He is wearing his Tudor black base ceramic today. Former winner. What? Yep, that's true. Hey, Brandon Robb is here. What's up, buddy? How are you? Good to see you. Ep is here. How are you? BJ is here. What is going on, sir? Um, hey, Mr. Cassioke. Steve, how are you? What's going on? Well, Sandra does live here. GS always can move up north. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, Here's Mr. Casio. What's up, buddy? Uh, Hobby Bobby breaking out the
Ooh,
Chronograph
yeah.
19 big guns, big
Not
guns for
nominee last year.
nominee.
From
Yep.
last year.
Hey, Jacob is here, another member. What's up, man? How you doing? Craig G, what is up? Still sipping some root beer. Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
That was a nice
Uh,
ad. Yeah.
Yep. Jacob all the way from Prague. What is up? Hey, KR Joy. How you doing? All right. I am fired up. Let's get going here. We got a lot of categories to go through.
Yeah.
And
Before we make picks,
yes.
I think that there are some watches that are nominated that I did not pick, and that I may or may not belittle and demean, and they may be owned by members of our community. And so I would just like to apologize in advance to those people and just say that I'm sorry you guys owned a watch that I felt the need to demean. So sorry, not sorry, I guess.
Yeah. Hey, Thomas. What's up? How are you? Um, Chaz wearing a nominee tonight. Doxa
Yeah,
Army. Okay, that's an interesting category, and I'm looking forward to seeing if Marcus and I picks the Chaz Army for the win or not. We'll see, Chaz. Hold on to your seat. Okay, so Marcus, or I'm sorry, Phil, are you ready to start off?
I'm ready. I'm just going to give a bit of a teaser.
Okay.
So you will see a pick from me later today, potentially in the Tourbillon category, where it's going to be a giant swerve, where it'll be really unexpected. It'll be like Hulk Hogan turning heel at the 1996 Bash at the Beach. It'll be that surprising. So just teasing our viewers for later.
Okay. Looking forward, looking forward to that. Great analogy there. Okay, women's category. Okay, so the women's category, we have a couple of, we have six watches here. This is also one of my favorite categories, actually. I usually pick something that has a bird on it. I don't see any birds here today. We have an Arnold and Son Perpetual Moon, a Chaumet, I think I'm pronouncing that correctly, a
Mm-hmm.
Chopard, um, a Constantin Chaikin, um, a Parmesan Fleurier, Parmigiani Fleurier, and a Van Cleef Arpels. I feel like Van Cleef is always a nomination for the women's category and the jewelry category. Marcus, what are you feeling here
What am I
for the
feeling
first
here?
category? Yeah.
All right, so I think that I'm going to toss out things that are too out there and too conservative. So the Van Cleef and Arpels, too conservative, tossing it out. As much as I love the Constantine Chaikin, it's uh, I think it's too out there. So I'm going to toss that out. And then we're looking at the Chaumet. The Chaumet secret is correct, because even if you even if you uncover the watch face, you can that the legibility looks nightmarish.
Right.
So that comes down to the Arnold and Son, the PF, and the Chopard. Uh, I came really close to picking like these three were it was really tough to pick. I think the Chopard is it either needed to go more understated or needed to go more
Mm.
inventive
Interesting.
with its diamond placement, right?
Okay.
So
Okay.
I felt it was both too blingy and almost like too inside the lines with the way they did their diamond placements. So for
Hmm.
me, that kind of knocked that one out.
Mm.
I like the Arnold and Son, but it did look a little too blingy to me. For me, the Parmigiani Fleurier, PF, this line has actually got, I think, 6 nominations.
Yeah.
It's going to come in second virtually everywhere else, but I think for this, the design language, the smaller dials, the diamond settings, the way the rose gold looks with the full rose gold bezel and
Yeah. Yeah.
the bracelet. To be honest, like like the women and men can wear a day date, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it gears towards men. I think
Yeah.
women and men can wear this watch, but it gears towards women. So I feel like this is like almost the women's version of the day date without the day date complication. So I'm
So
gonna
this
pick
is
this. This is my pick.
oh, okay. Okay. Excellent. Excellent. I failed to mention chat. Please let us know what you guys pick. Marcus, I love your run through. For me, um, it was pretty much a two-horse race. It was between the Chopard and I understand what you're saying about the placement of the diamonds. I get that, but I feel like women just are attracted to Chopard watches in general. The Parmigiani Fleurier, this wasn't the other horse that was in the race with us, but I like what they're doing, and I see how much how much influence they have or how much of a presence they have. Hey Colin, how are you? In this year's GPHG, I think, and this is a little bit teaser, you'll see some big things from my picks regarding PF. This is just not where it's going to happen. I think usually I go for the wild and crazy when it comes to women's watches. Anything with birds, anything like that, colors usually do it for me, except for this year. I think the classic looking Van Cleef and Arpels is this year's winner. I think it's just classically beautiful, and I could just see this on any woman's wrist, right? The other watches, a little too out there. This is the one that the women will vote for. Who knows if Bark and Jack will vote for it, but the women will vote for. Um, Colin,
Yeah, man.
baptism by fire here. You're jumping right in to one of
Sorry
the
I'm late.
hottest contested. No, no, that's okay. One of the hottest contestant categories, the women's category.
Yeah.
What are you feeling here, buddy?
On this one, I pretty much just went with what I think my wife would wear, and
Hmm.
the Parmigiani to me is
Mm,
the classiest. Just it's beautiful on its own, simple, time only. I think it's a beautiful looking watch.
mm, mm.
Plus,
Okay.
it's going to be finished to really high standards, and they've killed it with these Tondas. So
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right. The finishing on these are going to be great. I don't know if women care about finishing,
no,
but most of
well
I
they
would
might.
imagine most of these voters, right, are going to be.
Mm.
I don't know. I don't want to be chauvinistic or presumptuous, but I think probably most of these voters are going to be men anyway, right? So you guys
I
might be
think
right here.
this will appeal to a lot of men.
Yeah.
But again, this does not have the micro rotor just because of the smaller case and smaller dial.
Hmm.
So they're going with a very well finished automatic movement, but it's not the micro rotor movement that we're going to see later in the men's category.
Yeah.
Right.
Justin saying, are we assuming that the watch nerds will have women to vote for these things? Exactly. My point. My point exactly. Um, Timeout saying hello, Colin. Oh, Colin, what are you wearing on wrist tonight?
I'm so late. I'm actually naked.
Oh,
I'm sorry. Yeah, it was a rush to get here.
no, but hey, listen, as
We're
long as
glad
you're
you made
here,
it.
we're glad
I
you
got
made it.
a I got a
We got it.
tan line. There's a tan
Yeah, I
line.
totally see the tan line. It's awesome. Um,
Yeah.
okay, we're off to a hot start, gentlemen. Let's get on to the next women's category, ladies category, the ladies complication. Ooh, I am excited about this one. I'll tell you that much. Colin, do you want to jump in ahead here at first and give us what you think?
I've always had a soft spot for the Hermes
Mm-hmm.
Arceau. I can't even say Arceau Le Temps Voyageur.
Yeah.
I love the dial layout. I think it's a beautiful looking watch. It's definitely not a tourbillon like the Audemars Piguet or anything like that, but I just think it's a nice, beautiful world time watch, and yeah, that's one I'd pick if I was buying something.
Yeah. Yep. Let me jump in and then we'll have Phil take the last spot here with the women's complication. I love that Hermes watch. I love that complication.
Yeah.
I just love how it works. I just don't think as a women's watch it works
Mhm.
for me. I like something with colors. Again, with birds. No birds here though. But I'm gonna go with the Chaumet. Look at that thing. I don't know what's going on. It's a piece. You know what I mean?
You
I
can't even
can't
tell the
tell.
time.
It can't even tell the time. But you know what? Again, I'm making assumptions here. I know my wife, she doesn't really care about looking for it at the time on her watch. Okay, if it looks pretty, it's there. And I think this is going to be your winner for the women's complication. Phil, you're next.
I'm
So
going to get a watch while you do this because I'm getting
Okay.
roasted.
Okay.
so so historically speaking, not since the Vacheron Constantin Lady Kala has a women's watch won the Aggie d'Or at GPHG. I think that will continue, but I think this year will be the closest a women's watch will come to breaking that streak.
Oh.
Um, the Van Cleef and Arpels is a powerhouse complication. It's got automata. It's just a brilliant complication. You've
Hmm.
got the minutes track on the side, so you can actually still tell the time. But to have those 12 flowers open in a different pattern every hour is just a
Hmm.
groundbreaking complication. And I feel bad for the others. Like I think these are all well
Wow.
done. I don't think any of them were poor, but it's got to be the Van Cleef and Arpels. This is like me. This is my first like I'm planting my flag in this pick. This is going to be far and away the clear cut winner of this category.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. While we're waiting for Colin to come back, let's see what people say about Colin. Colin went
Yeah,
full Florida man.
that one wins the internet for today.
Colin is no fisting. Colin's headlines are better than most of my watches, Kevin S says. Clayton, Hermes all the way on this one.
Hermes was my second pick. I
Yeah.
think
I,
it's a very good.
look, I love that watch. I just don't think it's going to be it has a chance in the women's category. It's
Yeah.
going to be it's the other one is nominated, so that's another possibility. So, um, Chaz, can you even tan in Canada? I like the gumball machine looking one, says Wilson. Purple AP for anonymous watch guy. The Van Cleef is complicated to read, which is its own complication. Thanks, guys. Hermes, Hermes. Hey, Rob, good to see you. Whatever Rob says. Good evening, Big Riz. Hermes for Bobby, a hobby Bobby. What? No Cartier? That's pretty funny. Van Cleef, Van Cleef, Van Cleef. Um, Hobby Bobby. Oh yes, forgot about the animation on the Van Cleef. Yeah, Van Cleef is beautiful. James Duffy, Van Cleef and Arpels deserves to win this category. Way more interesting than the others. Okay, okay. So we have one for Hermes, one for Chaumet, and one for uh, Van Cleef for all you guys who are keeping track at home. Let's go into our next category, the men's. Um, I'll start here. Um, so I did a little bit of a tease, and I think if you guys were paying attention to what I said about a certain watch and a certain brand in my women's category, you'll probably guess where I'm going here. And look, at first I wasn't really a big fan of the new styled or new looking Parmigiani Tondas, but it has really grown on me. Now, these other watches are great. Uh, I really dig the Bulgari. I think it's a beautiful looking watch, and I'm not a big fan of skeleton watches, but I think this looks great, and I would, if I had the money, I would rock this watch for sure. But for me, the Parmigiani comes in. We talked about the finishing. We talked about the brand prestige. It's a great looking watch, and that is my pick for this year's men's watch. Phil, thoughts?
Do you want my quick answer, or do you want my like sort of rambling, pontificating, sort of circuitous answer?
Go number
What would
two.
Phil Flanders do?
Yeah.
So I think this category is awesome. Like this is so much better. This is so much better than last year's. The weird thing is that if you look at the names that are being featured, just look at the brand names. You would pick there's one brand just based on brand recognition. There's one brand that stands above the others when it comes to GPHG, right? And that's it depends. I've heard I pronounce it Acrivia. I've heard a certain bearded, bespectacled professor who likes to make YouTube videos pronounce it as Akiriva. So I don't know. I think Acrivia is where we're going to be, but there's that alternate pronunciation. But I think that the Acrivia, just the name stands above the others. But if you look at each of these entries, they're all very worthy. The Bulgari is a holdover from last year. This one is like it's got an 8-day, it's skeletonized, and again, it's that same 5.95 millimeter movement that won the Agidor last year. You've got, and Bobby's covered the Parmigiani Fleurier, the Sylvain Pinode. That's just such classical watchmaking, right? It's three hands, handmade. In the there's a certain romanticism to it. There's a certain old school nature to it, in how it's manufactured. And you've got, and though it says Zenith on it, this is Voutilainen. This is classic Voutilainen. Voutilainen, even when he started his own eponymous brand, he did not come up with his own caliber, right? He was finishing pre other movements. Like probably his best watch of all time is the Tantalor decimal repeater, and that wasn't a Voutilainen in-house special. That was a Voutilainen modified JLC movement minute repeater, right? And then so you've got Voutilainen restored, Voutilainen finished, of a iconic movement that's won probably more chronometry tests than any other watch, right? Zenith has got more chronometry awards than anyone else until Grand Seiko started mopping up the awards, and then they just shut them all down. But when it was just Swiss only, Zenith did well. So you look at that, but coming back, I'm going back to the chalk. I'm gonna pick chalk. Like this is the Chronomet Contemporain is just it's I feel like it's a class above. It won in 2018. Recep Recepi did not sit on his laurels. He meaningfully modified the watch until it's almost an entirely new watch, right? So it still has sort of that it still has the zero hand reset, but then he put in a deadbeat seconds. He put a dual going train, right, so that the deadbeat seconds doesn't affect the precision of the watch. And then he got PJ Haldeman out of retirement to make the case. And look at that dial. Like that dial it's liquid so it's the dial itself is liquid enamel. All the markers are written in liquid enamel, and then it's heat fired. Everything's enamel. Everything's enamel to the highest degree. All of the bridges, all of the wheels, everything is, every tooth of the wheels are hand finished. I in the chat, like Colin's the biggest RR fan. I'm probably the biggest detractor, but I don't have a choice. I think I'm gonna go with I have to go with chalk here and pick the CC2.
Okay. Thank you, Marcus. Colin.
Well, how do I follow that? Marcus pretty much said it all. I'm going with the Recep Recepi Chronomet Contemporain. I mean, you'll notice this across my picks. The finishing is just second to none, total rock star in the industry.
Mhm.
You want to talk about mile wide anglage. This is the real deal. This is actually a mile wide. I love the case shape, especially the bezel. It's got a subtle thickness at 12 and 6, and it tapers down at 3 and 9. Like Marcus said, the dial, everything's just to the nines on this watch. You cannot fault anything on the watch. It's just beautiful, and yeah, I just love everything about it. I did think about the Sylvain Pinot, but yeah, the Acrivia gets it for me.
For what it's worth, the
Justin.
PF came in second for me.
PF.
Okay.
Yeah.
Justin wants to know where can he vote for the Aquaterra. Uh,
I think you have to go to the Bark and Jack Facebook forum.
Triloby all the way. Bulgari for anonymous watch guy. Wilson going with the Triloby. Triloby, am I saying it right?
Trilobe.
Trilobe.
Trilobe? I don't
Trilobe.
know.
Yeah,
It's a
Trilobe.
great
There you go.
watch, but it's out of its element here.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Zenith for the big wrist. Acrivia for the orange hand. Zenith for Greenman. Trilobe for AZ Clayton. Acrivia for Stefan.
Or Aki Riva. We should give
Aki.
people.
Is it actually Acrivia though? Like I always thought Acrivia was like
tonight's
the
Acrivia.
open work dials and everything. I'm surprised they wrote Atelier Acrivia.
Well, this is Rajapi.
Yeah, I know.
It's. I think they listed it as Atelier Acrivia, but this is a Rajapi.
Yeah, yeah.
Chaz will go with the PF, but he doesn't think it will win. Deech saying that we're going to be riding a Bulgari wave this year. Or Bulgari. Akira Kurosawa did a great job. His films rule too. Okay. Passionate speech, but I'm still voting for the season. All right. You got me there. I thought you say a kilometer wide in Canadian. Okay.
Yeah, it's 1.6 kilometers wide.
Right. Okay. I'm so out of my element. Keith says I'm only knowledgeable about shitters.
We are probably only knowledgeable about shitters too. Like who knows?
Yeah.
Stuff we say tonight it might be completely incorrect.
I'm totally unprepared.
We should have put that as a disclaimer.
Yeah.
This is not professional advice.
This is the first time we've actually seen watches in our lives. Next category, the men's complication. Now, Colin, I'm going to lead off with you on this one.
Oh, God.
Yeah, sorry. What do you...
Yeah.
You've been studying this all day. We know you have.
Yeah, I have, yeah.
What say you here? We have, I'll read them off to you. The Armin Strom, Audemars Piguet, code 1159, Beauvais 1822, the Hermes, the Parmigiani Fleurier, Tanda PF GMT, Retropont, and the Singer Reimagine, the Barista.
So I'm going with something mostly out of familiarity as well as it incorporates one of my other loves. So I'm going with the Singer Reimagined Barista. As you know, I'm a big coffee fan.
You're a coffee guy, yeah.
I'm a coffee guy, but again, you're getting just an awesome watch. I love their designs, all their Singer Reimagined stuff, Agenor movements, stuff like that. It's just really, really nice stuff. And like I said, I'm sure that you could say the AP is maybe nicer or more, has more ingenuity or something like that. But to me, that just plays the heartstrings a little with the coffee theme. So that's what I'm going with.
Marcus, you're next.
I think I'm going to go from like didactic luxury to Socratic luxury first. So let's do a thought exercise here. So what are the 4 complications you need to have to be considered a grand complication? Patek cheats and they put in 3, but generally, what are the 4?
You need for a grand complication.
Yeah,
you
for
need.
A grand...
Don't you need sonnerie?
Yep, brilliant.
You need. Oh, geez, you're putting me on the spot here. Calendar.
Perpetual, yeah,
Yeah,
perpetual calendar.
perpetual. Help me out, Bobby Legs.
I only know shitters,
Just-
man.
Well, so you need a sonnery, perpetual calendar, moon phase, and
Moon
some
phase,
sort of chronograph, ideally either a split second or
Yeah.
a rattrapant.
Right, right.
Nowhere is tourbillon included in that. So why is that? Because tourbillon is not a complication; it's a regulating mechanism. So I'm disqualifying the AP as much as I like it. All right, so I'm going to keep it short here. That was just my sort of soapbox moment. I'm picking the Hermes. I love the I love that complication. So I think this is where I'm gonna pick it. I think they delivered it. I think it's the most innovative take on a world time. Yeah,
It's beautiful.
Yeah, yeah. So here I'm in agreement with Phil, but it's my second best pick in this category. So that gives you a clue of where I'm going to go with the Agudor. So, but the Hermes, the women's Hermes, loved it. Just didn't, for me, conceptually, didn't work for me as a women's watch. Though I love that color. Here is where I think the Hermes shines in this specific category. I love this watch. I love this since day one when it was announced. I was like, I would love to have one. A little bit out of my price range. Beautiful watch. Great way to do a world time. Love it. Love it. Let's see here what people pick. Craig G likes the Hermes. Yeah. What's not to like? Oh, Sanjay's here. Hey, buddy. What's going on? How are you? Hope everything's well. Okay.
Good. I cannot pick the Grand Seiko coming up. Good. Sorry, Sanjay.
Okay. Next category, the iconic category. And here, what? Did I miss something?
Just Marcus's reaction.
Yeah. Well, Marcus, why don't you lead off here and let us know what you think here?
this is the most useless category. I hate this category.
Yeah.
It's not only just because it's like the criteria is so nebulous, but because it's just so unnecessary, right? I guess the AP is the nicest watch, but if the AP wins, I'm not picking the AP. If the AP wins, like that's 3 out of 4 years that an AP has won the iconic category. So I'm gonna throw that out, and I'm just gonna pick between the Navitimer and the Hoyer. I'm gonna take the Hoyer because I like it. So that's my pick for the iconic category, the Gulf Monaco.
Yeah, not too excited about the selection here. But it is what it is. I'm out of spite. I'm just gonna pick the Girard Perregaux, the Cascade. Colin?
Like Marcus said, I mean the best watch here is the AP, but what I think will win, I really don't. I'm not gonna say it. I think the GP might win, but I'm gonna go with the Zenith. I think it's a very true interpretation of the original, so I'll just pick that one.
Okay.
But I bet you they're gonna go for the Cascade.
Anonymous Watch Guy loves the Breitling. Wilson, not too happy about this category here.
Yeah.
1105, is that a photocopier on the top right? IWC from Michael B. Yawn. James not really interested in this category. How did the IWC get away with a green dial? They submitted a blue dial last year. Some lazy ass stuff. Kevin S. going with Wall-E, the Cascade. None. Wow. Hobby, but you got to pick one.
He doesn't like him.
He doesn't. I know. This is a hard one, but you got to pick it. Breitling, Navi, GP because it's weird, Navi, Tag. Marcus picked a radial indexed Monaco.
That's never stopped them. Like deviation from the original has never stopped them from picking it. I think you're just picking a name here.
Yeah.
Right. So you're picking a name in a colorways. Yeah. And that's exactly true, right? So like Tag hasn't won in a while. Tag has won the third most number of awards. Might be time for that. I forgot to mention that, but I'm glad Colin brought that up. But again,
AP because of the hype. Sorry, Mark.
I don't feel strongly about these.
No.
Yeah. Gotcha. GP clock radio is interesting. Tag Tibbs here. Are we just saying random things today? Yeah, this category sucks. Mr. Casioke, when I think of IWC Big Pilot, I think 43 millimeters
Sarcasm is
and
strong
green
here.
icon.
Yeah,
Zenith is kind of ugly. No, I agree.
yeah, it
I
is
agree.
kind of ugly.
I
Yeah.
totally agree. Does that thing have a snooze button? I like that watch. I hope it wins now. I hope it wins.
I,
Okay.
I don't mind it. I don't like that it sold out so quickly and everyone's trying to flip them for more.
Yeah,
That's basically what I don't like
pretty
about
much,
it.
right? Okay. Next, Marcus's favorite, the Tourbillon. Uh, all right. So, uh, for me, I'll start it off. Tempted to pick the Parmigiani again, but I'm gonna go with Grubel Forsey just because I just think it's pretty. I know nothing about tourbillons. I mean, I understand how they work, but I don't get it. I know people get really excited about them and pay big money for them. Not for me, but I like that Grubel Forsey. I like Grubel Forsey in general. Colin?
I am also going with the Grubel on this one. Again, we're going back to, finishing and just top notch everything on that watch. So yeah, that's my pick as well. It's a little thick, but I think it's like 15 or 16 millimeters thick, which, you know, it's up there. So,
But that's every Grubel.
yeah. So I am picking that one, but I might revisit this category later.
Yeah, Marcus, what say you?
I'm going to give sort of honorable mention to the Moser. I've come around to it, especially at that price point. I think I like that design, but that's not going to be so. I'm going to pick the Grubel here, but where is that swerve people were talking about? The reason why the Grubel is going to win here is because I am picking the Grand Seiko to win the Aggie Door
Ooh.
this year.
Oh,
I'm
so
going to
are,
pick.
are we giving that out, or we're not gonna
Oh,
wait to the end there?
so
Okay.
I'm picking the Theo Offret to win the Agidor.
The
I
what?
think that's
Which one?
the the one right below the Grubel.
The one. Okay. The one. This one right
So
here.
Theo Offret. I think that's beautiful, beautiful watch. It's finished impeccably. It's not a big name, but he's an up and coming star in the watch world, and I just think it's really beautiful.
Marcus, do you want to finish your thought here before I
Well,
reveal what I'm picking?
I think again, since Colin's on this, the Aggie Door is coming from this category.
Okay.
I think that it's going to be one of those three. And people pick the Grubel because I don't think it's going to win the Aggie Door because that's won the Aggie Door before, I believe. For me, the Grand Seiko, it looks stunning, and what makes this one stand out for me over the others is that it's a Remontoir tourbillon. Like that's the highest, and that's the highest you can do for a tourbillon.
Yeah.
I think they checked the chronometry for like 34 weeks. It's got the Remontoir. They're within 0.5 seconds per day. You're talking about spring drive accuracy in a fully mechanical watch. I love the way they did the skeletonization. And if you want to talk about, I always forgive Grubel for being too thick, but I think that Grand Seiko, it pips it in terms of the aesthetics, and they did it in a much thinner case. I think it's under 13 millimeters. It's got Micro Artist Studios finishing, and yeah, it's legible too, right? So, and it's got a power reserve. It's legible. It's skeletonized movement. It's got yeah. That's why I'm picking.
Not only that, it's such a departure from what they normally do. It kind of like puts themselves out there a bit. It's like they're trying to show off, like everyone bags on us, but look at this, right?
Yeah, it's just like how the micro girder won for tag, right? So that's my Hulk Hogan swerve.
It's not a bad
Okay.
pick.
So, in my humble opinion, I don't think the Aguilar comes from this category. I'm going back to the Parmigiani Fleurier GMT Rattrapant. I am really taken by this watch. The finishing, the beauty. I love the layout. I wasn't a big fan of these dials when they first came out, but now I'm totally enamored with them. And just a great, great piece. And I think for me, this is my winner for the Agidor. Okay, so let's
Weird
continue.
complication though.
Huh?
It's a weird complication. GMT Rementor or
Yeah.
GMT not
Rattrapant.
Rementor,
Yeah.
Rattrapant.
Another PF Tanda, Kevin S is saying. Yeah, right. Uh, GS for Chaz. GF because it's more expensive. I'm fraggling about, fangirling about the
Of course he
fraggling. What?
would.
The Grand
No.
Seiko. Grand Seiko getting a lot of picks here. Grand Seiko and
Mm.
and the Moser I've seen a lot. I love the GS, but I will pick the PF because it is the only one that doesn't look like a Bayverse transformer face. Chopard, Moser. Um,
I think the Moser's a bit lazy, to be honest.
I bet the GS sucks in person, Scott saying. Um,
It keeps horrible time.
yeah, this is Steve. I think it's Parmigiani's year. I think there's one brand every year that kind of has a year, and I think this year it's Parmigiani for me.
Miss every shot
Moser,
you don't take, right?
what was that?
Miss every shot you don't take.
Yeah, yep. Grand Seiko for the win. I'm picking the Casquette to win the Aggie Door.
Oh God, Aggie door.
Aggie Door. I love the spelling. Uh,
You and Casket.
uh, yeah, tag Mario Kart watch next year
Yeah,
for Keith.
absolutely.
Um, hey, Sanji, happy with your pick there, Marcus. So is Wilson.
I thought he would be.
Yeah. Um, winner, winner, chicken dinner. The PF is such a great watch, but those short indices seem off to me, Wilson says. PF paid top dollar for all of this consideration. Did the GS actually sell any of those Kodo watches,
It's a
or
it's
is it
a
a
it's a
single Halo?
it's a sold out limited edition of 20 pieces, guys. Come on.
Yeah.
Was it 20?
Yeah.
Let's get into one of the other favorite categories, the calendar and astronomy. I love some of these watches. Colin, why don't you lead us off today?
I think I picked this. This might have been in there last year. I can't remember, but I'm picking the. I don't even know if I'm saying it right. Crayon Anywhere watch. I think the complication, the movement finishing again. It's just gorgeous, and for an astronomy watch, I think this obviously does everything. Um, so that's my pick. Yeah, just such a unique looking movement. The architecture on it, the dial, it lays everything out. It shows so
Mm,
much information, but
yeah,
shows it easily, and it's not cluttered. And that's my pick. Even though I do
yeah,
love that Sarpaneva, it's just not complicated enough for me.
sure, sure, understood. Hey, look, this is my pick this year. The Arnoldson, I love this Luna Magna Platinum. Uh, very, very cool moon phase. Classic look, nothing stylistically that's gonna wow you, but I just love its simplicity and its
Mhm.
beauty and finishing. Look at that. Look at the loom on that. So cool. This would be my pick for this year's calendar and astronomy. Marcus.
Mm. I love that we're moving away from the perpetual calendars, and
Mm.
because I think this needs to be like a romantic category.
Hmm.
The Moser, it's too austere. Like it doesn't like it. Yes, it's the
Yeah.
most intricate. It's the most well. I think it's the best done perpetual calendar on the
Yeah.
market. But like the design language is too austere. It's there's no ornamentation. There's no romanticism about it. So that's why it's out. And the DRT is the most mechanically interesting watch, right? So like
Yeah.
for those who don't know, like DR stands for Dominic Renaud of Renaud and Papy, right? So this is like the horological grandfather of the Grunefeld brothers. So and this has got crazy stuff in it. Like
Yeah.
it's got a secular perpetual calendar. So it ignores like the having to reset at 99 and 400 and 1,000 years. So that's incredible, and it's it's got this weird life reserve. It's got this weird life reserve complication where they put your DNA in it. Hopefully, it's not like it wasn't like sourced by Theranos or anything like that. I doubt it works. But like what an interesting watch. But I think it does too much.
Yeah.
In this category, less is more. I changed my mind twice. I started off with the Sarpaneva. I went to the Arnold and Son, and I'm going to settle with where Colin settled and pick the Crayon here. I think that it's a brilliant watch, and I think Colin is thinking about the Everywhere watch, where you can find out where the time and the sunset and sunrise and all that is anywhere in the world. But this one it's set specifically to the user. So I think they detuned it. They simplified it, and they came out with a better product that's going to win, because the Everywhere did not win. I think it got a mechanical something like that, but I'm taking the Crayon here too, even though there's it's a very competitive category. I really enjoyed this category as well.
See, I gotta say here, the no dot here, I think that would bother Hobby Bobby.
Yeah,
totally.
That would
totally bother him.
Immediate disqualification.
Yeah. Even though he did pick it. Sarpaneva for Anonymous Watch Guy. Sarp, and that's for me.
That Sarpaneva is so beautiful.
Yeah, it is so beautiful. Yeah. It is absolutely.
Click on it and show a loom shot if they have it.
Sure. I mean, that's awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, it's cool.
That is awesome. Yeah. Arnold and Son as that large moon is so cool.
Let's see a loom shot of the Arnold and Son. That's also spectacular.
You showed it.
Yeah, I showed it, but I'll show it again. Yeah. I mean, that's pretty rad, right?
Mm-hmm.
Arnold. I love you, HYT. Logan's Runs Watch. I like the Moser for all the reasons Marcus doesn't. Theranos DNA is in the new Islander release. All right, I love the SARP. Okay. Mechanical exception.
Some bangers in here.
Absolutely. I have not qualified to give an explanation for any of these picks, so I'm gonna pick the one that looks the coolest to me, and they all look great. I got a soft spot for Chopard.
Yeah,
I got a soft spot. I'm going Chopard. Colin?
When in doubt, you go Ferdinand Budenberg, right?
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna again. Theme here is you're getting top-notch finishing. It's gonna be absolutely gorgeous. It's just unbelievable. Constant force tourbillon. Just it's got everything. It's gorgeous. So yeah, same thing though. Like I'm not qualified to pick which one. Honestly, I mean the Bulgari is quite a feat, but the QR code thing just bothers me too much.
They're cannibalizing each other, right? So because FB is owned by Chopard.
Phil,
I'm gonna make a case for everyone. Bulgari. Well, I'll make a quick case for everyone. Like Bulgari, they won the Agidor with a 5.95 watch, and this watch is 1.8 millimeters thin.
Yeah.
So that is incredible. That's mind blowing.
It's ridiculous.
It's insane. The Chopard, this is a former Agidor winner as well, but they took the Agidor winner, they put in a tourbillon, and they did it in such a way that it did not affect the sort of the chiming of the minute repeater. So I think that's incredible as well. Colin already mentioned about the Bertude. The UN is the Freak is one of the coolest watches of all time.
Mm-hmm.
I almost picked that.
Look at that Beauvais. That Beauvais is incredible. It's got it's got an annual calendar. It's got a equation of time. It's got solstice.
Compass.
It's got zodiac. It's got everything.
I think if you showed that to somebody, they would showed these watches to someone who didn't know watches, they would find that watch. They would
The-
guess that's the most expensive, the most prestigious watch.
but
Yeah.
I think it is though.
Oh, it could be
I think it is.
half
Um,
half a million bucks.
Sorry.
Swiss
this
francs.
is this. I love this category, but I also hate this category because how can you compare these watches, right? It's impossible. They're so different, yet they're so interesting. But to make a long story short, I'm picking the Armstrong. Um, I think when you talk about mechanical exception, Armstrong is doing something. You know, the Berthoud, you've got minute repeaters, you've got ultra thin, you've got calendars and all that, but very few people are able to achieve resonance. FP Journe was only three modern watchmakers have achieved resonance, and this is probably the version 3.0 of resonance. He's improved. The Armstrong has improved on the chronomet resonance. The way he's doing it is instead of making two completely separate movements, they've got sort of close oscillating wheels going in opposite directions. With that resonance clutch spring, so that actually is closer to the true concept of resonance that was discovered in the 1600s. And this is going to be the DiCaprio, right? This watch has been nominated 3 times. This is the 4th time this watch has been nominated. It's a spectacular watch. I think it's finally time to give it its due. With all due respect to all the other spectacular watches in the category.
It's a good pick.
Good pick. Hey, Links. Thanks for joining us. See you saying that resonance bridge bouncing back and forth looks funny. Justin, buy what watch looks futuristic. But what watch looks futuristic? Sorry. Okay.
Freak.
Probably the Freak, right?
Probably the Freak,
is the
right?
most futuristic. Everything else looks either modern or anachronistic.
Yeah.
Okay.
That Freak
Let's
is awesome.
keep moving to the chronograph category.
This
Marcus,
is a tough one too.
what do you think?
Came down to 2 for me. The Grony and the MBNF. I want to give proper kudos to the MBNF. You know, they did a lot of stuff, materials, movement, everything, right? So they render this in zirconium, which is a novel material. They've got two connected chronograph movements together. They've got them integrated. I just don't like the aesthetics. I don't like the visibility of the dial. It's too busy. It's too complicated. I'm picking the Grunefeld. It's more traditional, yet at the same time they did a lot to it. You know, they came up with the governor, as well as they did the with the zero reset. It goes in bidirectional zero reset, which is not easy to do. Obviously, their movements are they in terms of finishing, they really started showing off, right? They did the whole movement in stainless steel, which is much harder to finish. They did the dial in stainless steel, which is harder to finish, and they did the case in tantalum, which is harder to finish. For me, they've got the name recognition, they've got the ingenuity, they've got the materials, they've got the finishing. I'm taking the Gronefield by a hair.
Another interesting category with Parmigiani here. And I think, like I said, I think it's their year, but I have to go with Marcus's pick as well. The Gronfeld, I think, is just a slightly step above the competition here. Colin, thoughts?
Yeah, so I mean, my gut instinct was a lot like your guys. The Grunfeld and the MBNF are the 2 that are the most interesting. But I actually am just gonna go with the Chapek. Reason being, I think they've had a fantastic year or 2 here. They're a bit of a darling of the watch world, and I think even though this isn't a new watch, it's just a different colorway, really. I think it's just the most attractive watch to me in the category. It's good looking, it's complicated. They're doing a great job. You know, I just think they might get some recognition here for what they've been up to.
Sorry, guys, I didn't show the Grunfeld. I mean, look at that case back.
Oh
That
God.
is.
Okay, I changed my vote. Forget it.
Are you
Forget what
gonna
I
change
said.
your
No, I'll stick with the Chapik. But
Okay.
come on, that's insane, right?
Grunfeld is James's pick. A lot of Grunfelds, a lot of MBNFs here.
Yeah.
Dib voting for the cosmonaut. He has a soft spot. I do too. I do too have a soft spot for the cosmonaut, for sure.
Yeah. Good luck,
Um,
Breitling.
yeah. Good luck, Bradley. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
almost like they're not, they're outclassed in this category a little bit here. Okay. Going into divers now. I love the Doxa Army, the Chaz Army, but I don't think it's going to be a winner. I always stick to my rule of thumb with these competitions, never bet against Tudor, and I think the winner here is going to be the FXD. That's my pick. Colin.
I am also going with the FXD.
Yeah.
I think it's a fantastic watch. I really, really like it. And there's nothing really all that special about anyone else in the category, in my opinion. So, yeah, that's my pick.
Phil.
I talk about politics every year. And I talk about Tudor, but I'm gonna pick the Tudor. I'm gonna pick the FXD as well, not because of politics. I think it's the best dive watch in this category. This is a legitimate pick for me. I'm not gonna hedge it on saying the jury is going to be paid off by Tudor. They're a deserving winner in this category.
Mm-hmm.
Is that our first sweep of? I think that's our first sweep.
I think so.
FXD is getting a lot of love here on the chat. We do have a couple of Grand Seikos. Kevin S, of course, shocker here. Kevin S going for the Grand Seiko. Bobby saying vote for Chaz, or better yet, vote against Colin. I'm so hurt. I feel
Bobby,
attacked. Chaz, I love that watch, but I'm just going with history here. If Tudor's nominated in one of these categories, Tudor always wins, I feel. Tudor has the best 60 click bezel. Clayton's going with the Doxa. Lynx loves Tudor watches, but has to go with Doxa. Okay. Jewelry.
What I've been waiting for.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you guys know what my answer is going to be here. The Chopard. Why? Because it has a bird on it. Okay,
Perfect.
Let's make this quick, guys. Marcus, what do you think is going to win here?
I've always I like the Serpenti, so I'm going to go Bulgari.
Me too. I like the Serpenti.
Okay.
How cool is it? Clock in the snake's mouth. Come on,
it is cool. Pretty cool. It is pretty cool. Yeah. Okay, moving along, and we are going to the artistic crafts. Marcus.
You guys know me. There's two things I love: Kari Voutilainen and Urushi lacquer. So I'm picking the Jiku.
You should buy this watch for yourself.
Oh, I wish.
That's a beautiful watch. You know what? Yeah, I'm going with that as well.
Me too. That's a clean sweep.
Another clean sweep. Okay.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Although that Hublot is pretty old. Okay. Petite Agui. Breitling, Gelfman, Grand Seiko, Zenith, Trilobe, Louis Erard.
Do me last because I've got about 4 sentences worth of material.
Okay. Colin.
So I don't really want to pick any, to tell you the truth.
I'm so with you. That's why I didn't want to go first.
Like I mean, the Gelfman's the coolest looking watch, but I don't want to charge my watch every 7 days, and it's a disposable watch. It's like, forget it. I mean, I guess I don't like the Messina. I don't like the Breitling, especially with the Triumph logo on it. The Trilobe is kind of cool, I guess. Grand Seiko is another Grand Seiko. So I'm actually just going to go with the Zenith. It's the least offensive to me.
Yeah. I hate that Zenith. I'm sorry. I just don't like it.
No offense.
I just don't like it. The Breitling does nothing for me. most of these watches don't do anything for me. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with the Grand Seiko. Why not?
Okay.
Sure. Grand Seiko, sure. Phil.
Okay, here we go. Breitling Louis Erard shitters. Gelfman electronic shitter. Grand Seiko is a Grand Seiko. Zenith is a poor AP homage. So I'm going to pick the Trilobe. I think it's the most unique and it's the most interesting.
Okay,
I
fair
can
enough.
respect
Fair enough.
that. Yeah.
Michael B.
Yeah, but
All
that was
duds.
almost the way that my decision tree went, but at the last second I swerved to Zenith because I don't know.
Breitling, Master Singer. Hey, Chris from the Watchdown, what's going on? You guys have, he was wanting a 5212 now.
Oh. Can make
My
a
favorite
deal.
is GS and the Breitling. Um, James says, I'll pick the Breitling because I want to see something with a jockstrap. All duds right. Okay.
Yeah, that's
Grand
bad.
Seiko Satisfied. Yeah. Okay. Moving on. The Challenge Award. Is this the last category? No. Yeah,
Box,
technically.
yeah.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, pretty much.
It's got birds though.
Corona Tokyo, Louis Erard, another Louis Erard, the Mad Red, Messina Lab, Tag Horror Tutor. Hey, look, I'm gonna jump in here because I always stick to my guns here. If Tutor is nominated, I'm gonna pick the Tutor. I know it's not sexy. I know it's a remake
It's
or just
not
a reissue.
sexy. Yeah.
It's not sexy at all, but I'm going for Tudor Ranger. Marcus.
Can we just take a second to point out that Messina Lab looks like that what was a secret underground watch that was designed by like an 11-year-old girl. So I guess Messina has the same taste aesthetics as an 11-year-old girl. These are all shitters.
Yeah.
The Mad One is the only thing that shows a modicum of ingenuity or respect for its buyers.
My thought exactly. Yep. That's the only one worth purchasing, in my opinion, out of this whole group. And that being said, it's a pretty cheaply made watch.
Yeah, I mean, look, if it wasn't for the Tudor, I'd pick. It would have been a sweep.
Yeah.
But I'm sticking with my guns with Tudor. Okay, let's see here. Vote for the tag. All duds. Mad, mad, mad. Not sexy is an understatement of the year for the Ranger.
You know what?
Tudor.
I bet you're right, Bobby. That thing probably will win.
Yeah, I just feel like when it comes to these lower categories, or
Yeah.
not lower categories, but you know what I mean, like and the affordability index here, the challenge, the
You know what
Patigi.
though? Sorry to
Yeah, go
interrupt
ahead.
you.
No, go
I
ahead.
actually do. Now that I'm thinking back, that Corona is actually a pretty decent value for a calendar watch. It looks pretty good. I'm basing the quality that I expect based on other owners' experiences with Corona. I don't know. I've never seen that watch, but it's actually not a bad pick if you
Are
put
you
aside
are
all
you
the
changing?
Corona stuff.
Are you changing the pick, or are you gonna keep with the Mad?
No, I'll stick with the Mad, but
Okay.
I remember now that I actually kind of liked that Corona.
Clayton saying Mad because if you can get one, you could trade it for a much better watch. Don't you dare, Colin. How dare you? Only one worth weapon. So true. Gentlemen, we did it. We got through these picks. Some great categories, some not so great categories. Phil, Colin, thank you again. We will look back when the winners come out and see how we did. We'll have a follow up to this the nominee episode here. Guys in the chat, thank you so much for your participation. Thank you for your picks and the jokes and the comments. Very, very much appreciated. Can't do it without you guys. Again, uh, yeah, Colin and Marcus, thank you so much. And yeah, we did it, man. All right.
Thanks,
No
Bobby.
hot tea talk tonight. No hot tea talk.
Yeah.
Anyway, have a good night, everybody.
Stick my
Take
foot
care.
in the camera.
Yeah. Yo.
See ya.